Hi everyone, Cherie here. Today I'm going to be creating a Traveller's Notebook spread featuring the Citrus Twist Kit's Wild at Heart kit for July 2020. So I've got a few things already picked out from the kit. I'm using the Life Crafted kit. This really fun, colourful paper, I've cut a strip of that. So I'm planning on using that down one side of the spread, which will be having the photo on the center there. For this first page though, I've actually printed out one of the Wild at Heart Traveller's Notebook page basics that are available as a digital. So you'll find those in the shop under the digital section. And what I've done is use Photoshop just to add my journaling to that one, and I've just printed it out, and now I can finish that off by adding some other embellishments to it. So for this strip here, I'm actually going to add a bit of hand stitching to each of these strips. So I've got a stitching template which I've had in my stash for ages, and I've also picked out some colours from my embroidery threads to match these colours as best I can. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and do a different stitch on each of these strips. So that is my plan. We'll see how it actually turns out. I'm not sure how many different stitches I can come up with, but we'll see, I guess. So I think I will make a start. I'll get into it and show you how I'm going to put this one together. Okay, so to start off with, I'm using a stitching template to pierce some holes, and I'm going to do a different stitch for each colour. So I'm just using that template to make a nice neat row of stitching holes. It's a bit hard to see, didn't want to focus on it, but you will get a closer look at this a little bit later. I'm using just a single strand of embroidery thread doubled over to stitch each of these designs. So we'll give you a closer look at that very shortly. As you can see there, I'm doing diagonal stitch on that top one, but here it is all finished. It's actually the next day. I had to take a break from doing this, but I'm really happy with how that stitched strip has turned out. Now I'm just going to use my sewing machine to add a stitched border around those two white pages on those backgrounds. And now my stitched piece can go down the side of that plain white page. My photo is going to go in the center of that page. So just double-sided tape there. And the other things that I stick onto this page shortly will help to keep this photo in place. It can be a bit tricky when you've got stitching underneath a photo to keep it in place. So I've got that chipboard speech bubble there going at the top left of that kangaroo photo. This was a big wooden climbing kangaroo that we found at a market one day when we went. So it was kind of fun. I've got this arrow there going on the left hand side, and a love die cut that I'm just tucking in underneath the top edge of that arrow. And I've also got this little minty coloured heart that I'm just going to layer in behind there as well. So that's it for that second page. Now moving back to the first page here, I've got that little camera piece which was one of the digital printables available in the digitals section of the shop. I just printed it out in black and cut it out. I've just added a little note in that note section down the bottom there. I just used my typewriter to type that out and then stapled it onto the page. Now it did already have labels printed onto this first page, this basics page, but my printer doesn't print out that minty colour very well. So I've actually found the label that was in the ephemera pack, and I'm going to layer that over the top. First I'm going to stamp using the Wild at Heart stamp set. So that one says love these people, and there's another stamp from that set that says tired and happy, and that's going in that top label there. So I'm going to add that die cut label to the bottom of the page once I've stamped the date. That date piece that you can see there that I'm stamping now, I did have another one of those pages printed in ink smudge, so I've basically just cut it out and I'm going to layer that over the top of this page. So now that my dates are stamped, I've used two different date stamps on this page just for something a little bit different. Layering those bits together, I'm going to add stitching as well, and then that date piece can go right over the top with some foam dots just to add some dimension. Now to finish off this title at the top here, there's that blank section there, so I'm using the puffy alphabet stickers from the kit to add the word today at the top there. So that's done. I'm just ticking one of the boxes on this page, and you can see there's a row of stars, and I'm using the asterisk stamp from the Bailey alphabet and month stamp set here, and I'm just use that to colour in some of the stars. So there's a closer look. You can see the stars are all coloured there now. That little tick there, you can see the layered labels at the bottom here and that little note that I've stapled on as well. And then here's a close-up of the stitching on this second page and that cute speech bubble, arrow and heart. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing how I've put this one together today. I'm really loving the colours in this kit. I'm going to add it into my beautiful new pink Life Crafted album. Absolutely loving the colour of this album, and really easy to just slip those pages in. So let me know if you've got any questions about this spread. I'll pop a link down below to Citrus Twist Kits, and I look forward to bringing you another Wild at Heart project very soon. Thanks so much for joining me today.